Deuteronomy chapter 8 verses 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. You say, remember the Lord God, for he give you the power to get the increase. He give you the power to get wealth. You know, God, your positions, your promotions comes from God. He gets the increase. He gives you the increase. Leviticus chapter 19 verses 25. And in the 5th year you shall eat the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. It said it's going to yield to you increase. It's going to make your way prosperous in the Lord. You know, that's what God has for us. You know, he wants to make you prosperous. He wants you to, yes, he wants you to have the high paying job. You know, he wants you to have that job paying $18 an hour, which is, I don't think that's bad. That's a good deal. You know, but if it takes you away from God, God's going to say, okay, I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to humble you. Genesis chapter 13 verses 2. And Abraham was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. See, God made Abraham very prosperous because Abraham was obedient to the will of God. He was obedient to God. So as long as you stay in the will of God, God will make your way prosperous. Jeremiah chapter 29 verses 11. For I know the plans I have for you. God knows his plans for you. He knows the plans. He knows your tomorrow. Declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you. Plans to make you wealthy in the Lord. Long as you stay in the will of God. Long as you stay in the plan of God. You know, he is not to harm you, but plans to give you a hope in the future. See, long as you stay humble, you know, and keep that humility. You know, God says he wants us to be prosperous. He wants us to have the money. But if it's going to take us out of the will of God, if it's going to take you away from church, if it's going to take you away from serving God, he's going to humble you. Mark chapter 8 verses 36. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? What does it profit you if you do gain the bank account, if you do gain the raise, if you do gain the promotion, and you do get the money, but you lose your soul? You start to say, God, okay, you get to the point where you don't need God. It gets to the point where you're not going to church like you used to. It gets to that point. He said, what does it profit you?